Welcome to Adam's Athenaeum. Let's take a look together through the news and records of our times as we try to shed light upon the unvarnished truth. Thanks for coming back to listen to this episode, where we're going to talk about a song by Tom MacDonald called The System. Now, I'm going to do my best for this not to be another music video reaction song. However, it may kind of tiptoe along those lines. There's plenty of great reaction artist videos out there who've gotten pretty famous off watching other artists' songs and talking about them. That's not what I'm trying to do, at least not with this video. That's not the goal of my channel. There's just a lot of statements in this song, more so than most of his songs, that I thought should be addressed. And of course, I want to send more people to listen to Tom MacDonald, because to be honest, he's the only hip-hop rap artist that I can listen to anymore. Well, him and his crew of friends, we'll say. Him, Nova Rockefeller, Mad Child, and of course, Adam Calhoun. Go check them out. But for now, let's go ahead and get started on this video. It's going to be a little bit different than my usual episodes, so at the end of the video, let me know what you thought of it in the comments section.
Welcome to the world, baby boy. I'll paint you red and white and blue. The indoctrination starts as soon as you come out the womb. Pretty quick, we'll make you stupid with curriculums at school. And if the classroom doesn't do the trick, we'll make you watch the news. Pick your...
Alright, so in the beginning here, he's talking to a little boy, baby boy. I don't know if you want to say he's telling him what's going to happen, or if he's just saying, as the system, I guess in third person, I'm going to start the indoctrination right here, right now. I'm going to give you certain colors to make you patriotic. I'm going to give you certain things to hold and hang on to and play with to help you develop into a certain state of being.
Your team, right or left, take the red pill or the blue. You can vote, but even if you win, still everyone will lose.
So as you grow older, you can make all of these choices, but you're still working within the confines of the system. So does that mean you have free will? Yeah. But does that mean that your choices and options are limited? Potentially.
Don't forget to buy designer because Gucci makes you cool. We prioritize material belongings over truth.
Now I like that line because, let's be real. What do you see in music videos, in TV commercials, Super Bowl ads? Everyone's trying to promote, go buy this, go spend your money on that, invest in this, take this medication with 30 side effects. 10 of them are worse than the actual, injury, sickness, or whatever that you're having. Let's keep going before I get too deep into it.
And a job that you can't stand so you can buy some cans of food. Go overseas and die for freedom. There's some oil we could use.
Now, being a soldier, I like that line in particular because to me it said, you may have joined the military to fight for freedom, for your fellow Americans, to preserve the rights of the American people and of humanitarian rights of people around the world. However, when you joined, generals, majors, colonels, they made choices. Choices to be politically correct instead of learning and teaching how to fight properly on a battlefield. They wanted to be politically correct and preach about gender ideology instead of efficiently training the Afghan National Army, who quickly crumbled once we left Afghanistan.
Our democracy exists so that you think that you can choose, but our algorithms make you do what we want you to do.
So again, kind of back to the free will question. Our democracy exists to make you think you have free will, but the algorithms that we use, that's where they get you, right? So even if you're not listening to, even if you weren't like super indoctrinated as a baby, you didn't listen to the radio, your teachers didn't indoctrinate you growing up, that's okay, because there's still social media, the algorithms on TV, through polls and everything else that you can take that is going to help influence and shape how you think. And they don't always have to show you something. Sometimes they simply need to censor certain ideas.
That's the problem, your depressed society has you confused. We got medication for you that you'll probably abuse. Go get married to a lady who...
Alright, sorry that was a late pause, but the medication thing, there's a lot of people depressed, anxious out there nowadays, and a lot of people are seeking therapy, which is great. However, a lot of people are also getting stuck on medications. Medications that can damage your liver, your mental health over a long period of time. There's a saying that goes around in some social circles that I thought is somewhat appropriate here. Whether or not it's accurate, that's to be said by someone else. Big Pharma exists to keep sick people sick. You can't make money off a healthy person. Alright, let's keep going with the song.
Who also don't have a clue and pump out a few babies that are just the same as you. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong.
Alright, this is something I also have tried to talk about on my channel. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. Brown, yellow, red, doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. Your skin color should not matter. Everyone should be treated the same. I think we're all equals. I don't see anyone being better than me, and I don't see very many people worse than me. Sometimes I've been very low, and sometimes I've reached some pretty good highs. But that doesn't mean to say someone's had better highs or worse lows than me. And I always try to remember that and stay humble. Let's keep going.
Welcome to the world, baby girl. I'll paint you pink if that's okay. We'll encourage self-destruction through the music that you play.
So again, kind of speaking to a baby girl this time. First one, he was speaking to a baby boy. Both times he brings up colors, you know. I'm a Dr. Nature with red, white, and blue. To the girl, is it okay if I paint you pink? That kind of seems to go along with our society nowadays. People questioning, well, I can't paint, I can't give my little girl pink clothes. She's non-binary. I'm sorry, but your little 2-month-old hasn't even had that freaking thought yet, let alone those words to form in their mind. So yeah, pink is fine for a girl, blue is fine for a boy, blue is fine for a girl, pink is fine for a boy. I don't care. It's a color. Who cares? Colors don't have reproductive organs. Let's just have this talk real quick. Colors are not sexual. They don't have organs. They are used in other languages in, a male or a feminine sense. In English, we don't really have that, what am I trying to say? That kind of terminology. Some words may have a more feminine or masculine structure to them, but that doesn't mean a certain color makes you a certain gender. Let's keep going.
We divided all the men by trying politics and race, and honestly it's working awesome, so for you we'll do the same. Never teaching you to love yourself, inject you full of hate, objectify your sexuality, then blame you for the rape.
That was a tough line. So he says, we've divided the men by using race, politics, religion, all these other things, and it's worked. So guess what? We're going to do that to you too. But there's something else I noticed about what he said is, and I pointed this out in my videos as well, is that ever since I've grown up, the younger I was, the more clothes women wore. The older I got, the less clothes women wore. And I'm talking about, in movies, TV shows, magazines, whatever, social media. It went from a professionally looking, very attractive woman covering herself up, who cares, to, you're just showing it all. There's nothing to hide. So there he's talking about, we're going to objectify your sexuality, essentially what feminists would claim to be, where kind of men are pigs, so we're going to act like that too. Men see an attractive looking woman and think that she's dressed nice for him. Well, sorry guys, that's not the way it goes. Women don't dress nice to be checked out and hit on by you. They go out to feel nice and to be complimented by other ladies generally. Sure, some want attention, but not all. But what he's talking about is victim blaming, right? Of saying because a woman was dressed a certain way, it's her fault that she was, in this case, raped.
With you, erase the genders, everyone's...
Alright, so right there he's talking pretty heavily about how men objectify women, generally speaking, and the stereotype of, because a woman was dressed a certain way, it made the man unable to control himself, therefore causing a rape. I think that's a fallacy of an argument. It's not the woman's fault for the way she dressed. I do think there's something to be said about provocative dressing and the obviousness that should come with it. If you're going to dress provocatively, men are going to be provoked to look at you or say things to you, or the weird ones are going to follow you. That doesn't mean it's your fault. It doesn't mean you have to dress conservatively. It's just acknowledging the facts. Doesn't mean you're in the wrong. Doesn't mean a man is in the wrong for acknowledging someone who's attractive, who is provoking attention. But how you approach the situation. You must treat all people with respect. Oh, there's the cat again. Let's let her go before she gets too crazy up here, right? Alright, let's keep going here.
Even weaponize the differences that make our men and women great. Then just to screw with you, erase the genders, everyone's the same. We'll empower you with rights to vote if...
Oh man, if that doesn't speak to today's time, I don't know what does. To equalize everybody. We're gonna invent all these genders, and now nobody matters. Yeah. Yep, that's where we're at. Nobody matters.
Fight for equal pay, then have the men turn into women and you'll fight for them again. But you thought you had it figured out, but everything has changed. Welcome to the system. Please enjoy your stay.
Yeah. Men used to fight for women, and now men kind of turn their back on women. I mean, there's a social media movement, I guess you could say. It's called MGTOW, or Men Going Their Own Way, meaning men are tired of opening doors for women and the woman being like, psh, I don't need a man to hold open the door for me. You're right, you don't. I was trying to be courteous because, I'm not calling you disabled, I'm not calling you weak or anything. I don't care if you're a man, woman, child, disabled, fully abled. I don't care what gender you are, sexuality you are, race. I will open the door for you and I will hold the door for you. I'm not going to make you run to catch the door. It's simply being nice to another human. It has nothing to do with you supposedly being, a victim. Quit playing the victim card. Sick of it.
Here's a Bible and a bottle of the cheapest booze we make. Find a man who can take care of you to fill the holes we made. Buy a...
So there again, he's kind of talking about, you can use the Bible, or you can use booze as your vice, or hell, even what you believe in, I guess. Let's go back and listen to this part just real quick.
Everything has changed. Welcome to the system. Please enjoy your stay. Here's a Bible and a bottle of the cheapest booze we make. Find a man who can take care of you.
So again, indoctrination. One side is going to tell you to go listen to the Bible and that's how you should live your life. And the other side is over here promoting alcohol, substance abuse, and recreational drugs all the time. It's in their music, it's in their songs, it's what they talk about. Who you listen to for music has a great influence on what you think of the world, how you want to act. Tom MacDonald has helped me to straighten my life up, and I thank him for that. So let's keep going. He's speaking truth. I can't deny it. Let's keep going.
You to fill the holes we made. Buy a house and settle down, fulfill your duty, procreate, and make a couple babies who will also do the same. Welcome to the system,
I know I pause a lot. Get over it. If you don't like it, there's plenty of other review channels. Again, I'm not here for that. What he said right there, and he brought it up with the boys and the girls. Let's listen to it again one more time.
Settle down, fulfill your duty, procreate, and make a couple babies who will also do the same.
He brought up that, to some degree, people just have kids because that's what they think they're supposed to do in life. Well, I'll be the one to say it. Some of you are not qualified to have kids. Some of you should not be having kids. And some of you should wait to have kids. Actually, many, many people need to wait to have kids. And that's just my opinion. I think it's better to have a little bit of life experience and maturity under your belt before you go having kids. Simple as that. It's better to be in a stable situation to raise kids than to not.
The system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the world, everybody. I'ma paint you black and white. I'ma make you hate each other so that everyone will fight. I'ma give you all religion, let the righteous find the light. But I will also give you science to oppose the word of Christ.
He's talking to us right now, you and me. And boy, is he spot on. Now, I'm not saying anything about COVID. I'm just inferring what I think Tom may have been trying to point to by specifics in what he just said, is that there's people, religious people, who thought and continue to think that the COVID vaccine is the mark of the devil. Irregardless of whether or not you believe that's true, crazy, or just outlandish theory, there's people that think that, okay? Now on the other side, there's people that think you have to be vaccinated. And there's no middle ground, right? So let's listen to this part one last time.
Hate each other so that everyone will fight. I'ma give you all religion, let the righteous find the light. But I will also give you science to oppose the word of Christ.
So then you've got like the complete wholehearted believers of Anthony Fauci, the CDC, the WHO, and they don't question anything that came out of China or our own government concerning COVID. I'm not here to throw questions. I'm not here to throw accusations. I'm just saying there is a side, a religious side, and a science side. System gave you science to oppose the word of Christ. And the government decided that the power of the state was going to overrule the between keeping power separate between the state and religion. Again, I'm not saying nothing about COVID, what you should or shouldn't do. Consult with your own doctor about that. I'm just trying to say, if I were to guess a specific example of what he's trying to say by those couple lyrics, that's what I think he was trying to say. And I may be wrong. That's okay.
And I'ma give you borders, they're imaginary lines. If you cross them, go to war and win when everybody dies.
Alright, let's back that up real quick one last time and just listen to what he has to say.
Religion, let the righteous find the light, but I will also give you science to oppose the word of Christ. And I'ma give you borders, they're imaginary lines. If you cross them, go to war and win when everybody dies. And I'ma give...
So like we were talking about earlier, about me joining the military, and generals not knowing what it takes to win a war. And he points out the negative side of it. I can't disagree with it. It's odd, isn't it, that we paint kind of imaginary lines on a map. Go ahead, go to the border between any state. Point out exactly where it is. Not by the welcome to Utah, Colorado, Wyoming sign, Go 50 miles east, west, north, or south of where that marker is, and then show me where the border is and exactly where it is. Now, yeah, you can use GPS and maps to get a fairly specific location, but what he's saying is we fight over invisible lines. It's something that we call ours, but it's going to be here long after we die, so it's not really ours. We're borrowing it. And yet, will go to take land from other people. And when we go to war, you don't win unless you kill everybody. I mean, that's not always the case, obviously, but that's the general message. You go to war to win. And if you have to kill your enemy, you have to kill all of your enemy. I wish there was a better way. I wish people could talk things out. Sometimes war is inevitable, and it sucks.
Give you money that you'll value more than life, and let the 1% have everything while you fight to survive. And then I'll give you politics, I'll call it left and right, and while you divide yourselves, I will conquer both the sides. Can't you see? I'm the system, my whole purpose is divide. What you choose will never matter because everything is mine.
Think about that. The system has provided you with all these different things to do, to believe in, to fight for, to belong to fight for, to argue against. But what does it do in the end? If we're fighting over race, if we're fighting over rich versus poor, socialism versus capitalism, what's happening in Washington? If we're fighting with each other while our country's being desecrated by our presidency, what do they get to do? They get to run rampant and destroy our country. We need to quit being distracted by the Khloe Kardashians and the, new movies that, like Cuties on Netflix. We need to ignore movies that promote, what would you call it? Child grooming, we'll say, to stay safe within YouTube's legal terms. What does the world come to? How much does the system control what we think and what we believe in?
Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong.
All right. And we see at the end there, video by Nova Rockefeller, who, if you don't know, is Tom's girlfriend. She's made her own rap music, of course, but she pretty much films every song they make, and she, of course, assists in building their sets. I'm sure they made this entire music video set that you saw here. Bought everything themselves that they put in there, designed it themselves, did the lighting, recorded it themselves. They've got a friend that mixes and masters the music. Tom writes the songs. Sometimes his girlfriend might help out or a friend might help out, but this couple makes incredible music together on their own. They don't have a label to report to be confined by, to be politically correct with. He says what's on his mind, and he backs it up, song after song. Many people have said that he's repetitive, or that he says the same message in just different song titles. I don't think that's true. I think he expands upon his thinking, song after song after song, and realizes that sometimes, at the time an old song was released, the words in that song may have been perfect, but times have changed. And the message needs to be repeated, but new, better, and more profound words come to his mind. I'm blown away by Tom's lyricism. I'm blown away by the absolute incredible imagery of this video. You've got Tom hovering over the crib, kind of like the system hovers over our entire lives, right? You've got the daytime scenario of, I'm just going to raise you to be a good little boy or girl, or, just welcome to the system. Here's all the things I'm going to give you. And then it shifts to like Nightmare Tom, or the nightmare bedroom scene, where it's like, yeah, I'm going to give you all these things, but here's the consequences of these actions. Just because you get something for free doesn't mean it's free. I don't know anything in this world that is actually free. Everything has a cost. Sometimes you pay it sooner rather than later. So again, I think he's got it exactly right. We're subliminally controlled by these things that we hold in our hands called phones. It's so much more than a phone. We waste our time on it. We give it to our children and let it ruin their minds before they can even develop. Our kids don't generally go outside anymore. They live on video games and computer screens. They don't date anymore. They barely know how to talk to an adult, let alone get into the workforce. And again, that's not everyone. It's just a generality. But we all see it. We all hear about it. And I'm here to talk about it, as is Tom. Yes, we are part of the system. How much choice do we have within inside the system? And does the system need to change or be broken? I think that's really what he's saying. What I'm trying to say. What my channel tries to say. We can't keep voting just right or left, Republican or Democrat. And it's not a viable option to just vote, third party. We need as a country to agree upon fundamentals. We need people who can agree upon these fundamentals, who have their differences, but can reconcile differences for a compromise. Yeah, it's great that we can all bitch about solutions and complain about how crappy the world is and our life sucks and our job and taxes, gas, this, that, the other. But what are we going to do about it? When are we going to change things? Again, we've got politicians and bureaucrats that have been in Washington for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years and can't even speak in full sentences anymore. Can't even walk up a plane or walk up the steps to a plane. And they run our country. They tell us what to do. That needs to change. We need younger people like you and I. It may not be my first choice. In fact, I strongly do not want to have anything to do with politics. However, I recognize that there's a need for younger people to enter Congress, the Senate, mayorships, governorships. We need to get corruption out of the system. We need to get bad ideas out of the system. Ideas that harm people. And fundamentally, we need to accept that we are all the same, despite our differences. Our differences are what make us beautiful. If we were all the same, we'd all be pretty ugly to look at. So let's go ahead and end this video there. I'd like to thank Tom and Nova for another great song, and I'd like to send you all over to his channel. That's why I paused right here. So you can go find Tom MacDonald on Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. You can even find his website, his shop. I think it's hangovergang.com, where you can find his merch. And I hope you all enjoy him. He's been a great inspiration to me, and he makes great music, and I look forward to hearing more from him. As we stated at the beginning of the video, please tell me what you thought of this. If it was a little rough, needs some work, please give me some constructive feedback. Otherwise, let's talk about this entire video in the comments section. Let's talk about where we disagree and find solutions to our problems instead of just complaining.